Okay, do you remember the first gig you actually witnessed? As a fan, or maybe something your dad took you to?
This is pretty funny. We were living in Gainesville, Florida at the time. My dad was a student at the University of Florida. And, they used to have free concerts in the student grounds. And the one free concert, this is the first one that I can really remember for a few reasons, was that I was probably 6, maybe 6, 7, 6. And Joe Cocker. He was the free show. Now the funny part about that is that what I do remember, and I have a memory like an elephant, I remember weird shit going way back. And what I do remember about that is the smell of marijuana, vividly. And I remember...
Which you didn't know what it was at the time.
My dad said that it was Indian tobacco.
Okay.
It's a story, he's sticking to it. But I remember that the opening band seemed like they played forever. And, overhear my parents talking about stuff, and then, the band keeps saying, well, Joe's running a little late, so he just told us to keep playing. We're just going to keep playing. So, they think they played for another 2 hours before Joe showed up, inebriated, and then as soon as, stumbled onto the stage. It's kind of like the Jim Belushi, mockery of Joe Cocker. That was pretty much what was going on,
Right.
He...
Yeah, that was at the height of his...
Oh, yeah, dude. But, when he grabbed that mic, man, and he started singing, it was like, holy shit, I remember that. I remember being moved.
Really?
That,
Do you think that might have had any influence on your later career choice?
It influenced me on what not to do. Don't show up 2 hours late, shit-faced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, Keith Moon did all his, crazy stuff, and
Guy's
so what?
Freak, man. My daughter's middle name is Moon. I'll say it's after him, but my wife might differ.
Okay, right. And sooner or later, you probably started feeling this urge to play with other people, not just, jam with your dad, but maybe do stuff with your peers, Yeah.
The problem that I had was that I was like, I don't want to sound weird about this, but I was advanced by the time I was 12. I was playing, putting on my records and playing. And, I had no friends, man, that were anywhere near that, that could even, they were just kind of learning how to put their hands around a neck and make a G chord.
Sure.
And so it was frustrating. So I think that what I had to do is, I did this for a long time, in hindsight being 2020, maybe it was one of the best things I ever did, but I spent a lot of time in my room, and I would put on records, and I would play the entire side one, flip it over, play side two, and just do that. And I would play to these different great drummers and try to mock it. And I think that had a lot to do with learning feel, learning meter,
composition.
Yeah, and copy, exactly, man. Like learning parts. Why is that there? And it's a little bit of a bummer, but it's like I didn't really start playing with other people that were at that level until I got into high school. And I was a freshman in high school, and I met some guys at Space Player, man. I still remember this guy. He wound up going to Berkeley.
Oh, yeah.
And he's freaking phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
And two guys that had been playing guitar together since they were 10. And they were ripping. I remember the first song we played was Aces High by Iron Maiden.
Okay.
And this bass player had never heard the song or played it before, right? He was a rock guy but hadn't heard it. Or maybe he'd heard it. And one of the guys brought the Guitar World magazine that had the transcription in it. And he said, hey, I can do it, man. He put it down, put his foot up, looked cool. He was like, I counted off. We went into it, man. He played that thing note for note and was ripping it. The guitar player's doing the harmony. And I think that we probably would have really kept that thing going if we could find a singer, which the elusive singer. But that was my first experience of playing with some guys at my level that we were just, man, this feels good, that feeling.
Guys into the same type of music, right?
Yeah, totally.
As well, sharing, the inspirations. And
everything. Totally. It was the first time that I had crossed paths with people like that and played like that and had that feeling of oneness, that power.
Because I think it's a real privilege. I've never had it, and it's not going to happen probably at this formative stage. Because that's not going to happen.
anytime, man.
To play with older guys and to soak things up from them, which happened to you. But at some point, you just have to go your own way, right?
You do, man. You just kind of figure out that to be a little selfish in what you want and not settle, and that's tough to do. It's easier for people now, kids nowadays, because the internet has shrunk things so much. It's easier to find players in your town just because of the social media stuff. You know, you can kind of pick them out.
That's true. And the YouTube offers all sorts of.
You can audition people right there, man. Like, dude, that guy.
That's true.
And it's interesting because none of my bands, Evanescence, Rival City, White Noise Owl, none of us live in the same town. Not one of us.
It's tough. Wow.
So it is what it is, you know.
True. Okay, the first actual kit you owned. What was it?
It's a piece of crap. My dad got it for me, and literally the snare drum was held together by shoestrings. And I think that he got that for me just to sort of see if, is this interest tangible or is this just a fad, like a new toy? And I was a hard hitter when I was 6. So I went through that thing like chopping butter. And all right, maybe we need to up the ante on this. So I mowed lawns for summer, and I got a CB700 kit that was this wine red color, and it was so cool. And CB700 was like the offshoot, the Korean-made version of Pearl. And the reason I liked it was because it had 4 rack toms, and they were the concert toms, like Peter Criss. They didn't have the bottom lugs or the heads.
Right. And they were deep.
Well, they were like, kind of like that. They looked cool, and I had them up there, and they looked like Iron Maiden, And that was the first real kit that I got, and played the crap out of that thing.
Yeah.
And then I think 3 years later, I got a Tama. No, not Tama. Sorry, I got a Pearl export kit.
Oh yeah, I had one too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the jam.
Yeah.
Reason I mentioned Tama was because for a hot second, I had a buddy of mine who was a drummer. Well, I say that term lightly. He came from a very wealthy family. His dad gave him a kit and got in trouble. He said, "No, I'm taking the kit away." His dad called my mom and said, "Hey, take this thing." So I had a Tama kit for a hot minute. It's not what I wanted, but it was better than what I had. I played that, and then that Christmas I got what I wanted, which was the yellow Pearl export kit. It was cool.
Mine was black.
Okay, yeah, you were a little smarter than me. Just getting into the glam rock thing, I guess.
And the first Pro kit you ever had?
Was a Pearl BLX kit. I got that when I was 17.
Okay.
Right when I started my first real touring gig.
Yeah.
And man, God, I wish I still had that thing. I've seen a few of them around. The BLX and the MLX, and the BLX was the birch version, and the MLX was the maple version. And it had, they had the long tube lugs, and that's strums to this day, man. I know a couple guys that have them. They sound freaking amazing, man. They're so good. I mean, the Masters Classic is very similar.
And what about the cymbals back in the day when you were, a kid, and then later?
Well, I started playing Zildjian, man. That was the very first set of cymbals I ever got. Like, I had some really crappy crashes that were no brand, some Chinese made something. And but what I did have was I had a set of Zildjian New Beat hi-hats, and I remember that the cymbal was flat all the way across. The bottom hat didn't have a belt.
And the holes.
The holes, exactly. Exactly. You're smart, man.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah, okay. So, I had those, and, they were just so great. And I would, Christmas would come around, and people would say, "What do you want?" And so my family would take, donations from other family. Like, just give us $20. We're going to buy a cymbal for him. It'll be from everybody. And I always had Zildjian. Yeah. I mean, it's as long as I can remember.
Right. Yeah. So that was the only serious choice for you.
Exactly, dude. Seriously. That's no lie, man.
That's good. Okay.